back, Deadites and Ghost Beaters, and if you're new to the channel, I'm Oldhead Gaming, and if you're watching this video, you're probably relatively new to Evil Dead the game, whether you just got it for free on Epic Game Store when it was free to $99 a few months ago, you bought it over the holiday where it was a discounted price for like 15 to 20 bucks, or you grabbed it this month on PlayStation Plus for free. It is running until March 6th as free, so if you have PlayStation Plus, you can grab it then. I keep getting the same questions, is who to spend your time on. If you probably have played anywhere from just starting yesterday to anywhere between 10 to 15 hours, you got to think about it in the way of Evil Dead, which means it's only probably about 20-ish games just due to the sheer length of matches sometimes, where matches can take anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes to complete if you play it all the way to the very end. And the question you hear a lot is, where do I start? And I'm going to give you 4 characters, woo, the Horsemen, that give you a good hint of one from each class. And I'm going to give you one additional character on the end, but this is one of the DLC characters, so we'll talk about her last. Now, Evil Dead the game is a lot different than other ASIMs because of how hands-on it is, and the maps are much larger than most you'll ever play. Like, if you compare this game to Dead by Daylight, as a survivor, you get to do so much more, you have so much more input in how your match actually ends, and the maps are so much larger than anything you'll see on DVD. There is a stiff learning curve. I'm going to give you 2 tips very quickly before we start talking about which characters to spend your time on. First, do not ever fire your gun or let your fear get to the breaking point before the demon finds you. That is how you're probably getting caught as a baby survivor. And as you're learning, those are 2 easy things you can kind of just take right out of your repertoire. I don't care if the bare knuckle that person. Go straight Ace Ventura on them.
I do not wish to fight you. Violence is no longer in my nature, but if you want it, you got it, sister!
That is what you have to do to make sure you don't get found, because the longer you go without being found, the better chance your team has for winning at the book, which is what this is all about. Now, here's the thing I want to talk about. You have 4 classes, 1 character for each, and there is a hidden trophy called the 4 Horsemen, which is what this whole references to, which is basically playing nothing but ashes. And there's a reason the chosen one is who you want to choose from all classes. Now, I bet you're probably playing Cheryl if you're a support main, just because of the sheer amount of shemp she can hump along, and she can do some decent healing. Her ability is an additional heal. She can basically just be a straight heal bot. When it comes to being character-wise, support Ash, OG Ash, Evil Dead 1 Ash is by far and away the best coming out of the box. Now, you can make an argument against maybe the Blacksmith, but you have to purchase him. So if you just want to play the game for free and not adding additional characters, support Ash is the way to go. The man is a leech monster, whether it's both ranged or melee DPS. Heavies always return health. Headshots followed up by additional headshots return health to everyone. Like, he's a really solid character, especially after they changed him where you can get multiple leeches simultaneously. Like, he's the character to play. If you want to play Hunter, which I really just don't recommend anymore, right now the Hunter meta is really gone. If you're gonna play a Hunter, which I don't even really recommend anymore because Hunter has kind of gone to the wayside, especially how they've kind of diminished the returns on range damage. It's really different from when the game dropped on May 13th, where Hunters were really your damage dealers, and you had a couple of melee characters that could kind of compete, but now it's just basically straight melee damage, and you shoot someone when you have to. I'm still going to recommend Hunter Ash, Evil Dead 2 Ash, or Hash, depending on here with all 3 names for him, as the one to go with. His exorcism ability is always solid in a pinch if you're being chased by a possessed. He does the most damage with the best ranged weapon, which is the double barrel. He starts with one, so you can always look for one that is a blue, purple, or fingers crossed legendary later in the match. And he's just a solid hunter. Argument could be made for Kelly if you wanted to play someone else. She has a good balance of both ranged and melee, and her abilities kit kind of supports that, but I would still recommend just going with the Ashes down the line. When it comes to Warrior, arguably the best player in the game still. Like, coming out of the box, he was unparalleled, but he is pretty much the king of the castle. AOD Ash, Warrior Ash, Wash, the Chosen One, whatever you want to call him. he is by far the best character in the game. When it comes to being a warrior, like none of them could keep up. Mia can kind of keep up with him on an output, but you need to buy her. Henry has a little bit of survivability, but like when it comes to sheer potential, sheer damage, sheer crushing, and Wise Man's Potion is absolutely one of the best abilities in the game. It reduces fear, it boosts damage, it boosts health. Like, you really get everything from Wise Man's Potion. Plus, his damage calculator is just really high, especially with a chainsaw. Absolutely go with Ash again. And then when you finally get to the 3 leaders, it's El Jefe, Ash versus Evil Dead Ash, Lash, whatever you want to call him. His kit, once again, is the best. Like, it's just unbelievable. If you want to play this game for free, you're playing an Ash. His aura is super strong. It reduces fear, which is great for new survivors. It boosts both melee and range damage, so your party's getting an uptick while they're in his aura. And Blow Up and Show Up's just a great ability for just getting insta kills, because it just pretty much deletes balance bar, which is what's preventing you from doing takedowns.
Groovy.
Now, if you're going to spend some money on the game and you have 10 bucks and you're like, I really like Evil Dead the game, there's one additional character I would highly recommend. And I would go out and just buy the Immortal Power Bundle. You get a few skins with it, which is fine. But the key to it is Ruby. And Ruby is basically an AOD Ash level character. She is absolutely the best character they've brought out since the game has dropped. She is another leader, and the leader class overall right now is really strong. Her abilities are ridiculous, and she's great for starting out as a new player because she's very forgiving. Ruby has this ability to basically make her and everyone else take less damage. She shrinks the amount of time needed for cooldowns on your abilities. She increases damage. Like, she's absurd. And as she absorbs souls, her ability is really good because you can heal too. Like, she is probably the one X factor of a character I would spend an additional $10 for. Although I will say, if you decide to get 2013 bundle with both me and David for $10, or you get the Blacksmith Hail to the King bundle for $10, they're all pretty good. Like, I can't complain about any of the additional characters. Some of the additional characters are actually far better than the ones they came out with. And to be honest, I would absolutely play David or Blacksmith before Cheryl or Pablo. So when it comes to the support class, like, Ash is the only one that can hold a candle to him. And he's probably still the best when it comes down to it. So if you're looking for characters to invest your time in, because let's be honest, the prestige grind in this game is tremendously long. So as you're playing and leveling up, you can kind of knock off that prestige 1 stuff while you're doing the game. It also really helps out your characters down the road, especially as you're going in stronger demons and you get out of that, what is allegedly skill-based matchmaking in the game, which I just don't see, but we'll pretend it's there. And this gives you an opportunity to really get a chance to grow, learn the game, learn the mechanics, and of course, play a character that you're not going to regret, because I've known so many people that have invested in, say, Ed. As much as I love you, Ed Getley, you're not the one to invest in. Or Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. He doesn't know shit. Don't play Scotty. He's just not worth it. It's just so bad. Fantastic. So those are the 5 characters I would recommend. The 4 Horsemen, woo, and Ruby. And if you have those at 25, you're probably going to have a pretty good time as you're learning the ins and outs of Evil Dead the game. If you have any questions, any comments, please drop them in the comments below or jump over to my Discord. I am always available to answer any questions on the game. We play this game every Sunday and Thursday on live streams. You can hop into a stream. You can join us and get some experience. I always love playing with my community. As always, thanks for watching, and later, mates.